Hello, I'm Austin Harrison, and today we are talking about the Moonrakers Titan Edition box, and I am so excited to finally show off everything that is in this thing. It is big, but big for a good reason, and so I'll be walking you through it. I do want to say it does fit in Calyx. If you have your Calyx all the way up against the wall, it might overhang just a little bit, but it fits in a Calyx. That was one of our main goals. And the tray inside has changed slightly since this version was made. This was our prototype tray, and we just made some quality of life things that I'll try to point out as we're going. But let's dig in. All right, so this is the cover, and this is for the Kickstarter edition. It has the Kickstarter exclusive text down here at the bottom, and everything has foil and foil and spot UV on it, and we're just really excited with how that turned out. And right inside, right away, there are little containment areas for the comic book and the rule book for the base game. And after we get through that, we get to our boards from the base game. So this is the armory board and the dispatch board that nest in the top there. And those are holding down our player boards and then a ton of tokens. So I'm going to take the player boards out after. I do want to point out that there are dice down here, and these dice have moved. They've moved to a different part of the tray. And that is because it was causing the tray to pool slightly this way. And so we've now moved, I think, the dice up to up here on the tray. I haven't gotten the final mold yet, so we'll try to do an update about that in the future. But so we've got the dice there, and then we've got all of the player ships and the money and the Iosphere tokens. And then we have our 5 shipboards here, so there are all of those. And then under that, we have our expansion rulebooks and our binding ties, faction reputation tokens. And then I actually added in the negotiation board tokens here. We actually only had 4 samples of those, but the 5th one would sit right up there. But that's for people that are getting the negotiation board. That's where those tokens will live. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this top tray out. And you can see that it's just one piece here, and that it was just able to be put on your table while you're assembling the game and putting everything together. And under that, we have our card wells. Now, these card wells are designed to fit all the cards sleeved, so there's a little bit of extra space in each well for that. And then you can see there's stickers here that are going to guide you on where each set of expansion cards is going to go. So up at the top, we have our base game, and then Binding Ties, Overload, Shard, and then Nomad. And then beyond that, we have extra space that doesn't have any markings. Well, that's for a lot of reasons. One, we're planning on making more content, probably in the form of micro expansions. But in addition, there's also space for your holo pack cards that are going to be coming. And if you've added things like Endless, there's room for that here to grow. And there's also some wells over here that give us the opportunity to expand some action cards if we want. But before we get any further, I want to talk about my favorite part of this tray, and that is the action card tray. So a fully removable tray that comes out and will sit on the table and be your best friend, because instead of having to put all the action cards in the piles all around your table, just taking up tons of space, you now have this tray that you can just sit down, and if someone buys a ship card, or if it's their buy phase and they buy a few different cards that would add action cards to their deck, you just hand them this and they can say, cool, I need a reactor, and I also got a Shield X, and so I'm going to take that and put that in my deck. And then they just put this right back on the table. We've been playing with it nonstop, and it's just made our lives so much easier. And you just, at the end of the game, put all the cards back in, and it nests right back into the tray. Definitely my favorite part. Beyond that, we have all of our expansion boards here. So there are the 5 Binding Ties faction reputation terminals there. And then we have the Nomad board here, and then the Nomad Prestige Tracker, which, if you didn't know, Nomad actually has a 10 side and a 15 side for Prestige. Why we did that is all the expansions just make you a lot more powerful, and there were a lot of people that wanted to not shorten the game before that. So if you want to play a longer game, this is your side. Then you can see we have the mats rolled up here. This mat area is actually getting larger. Like I said, we got rid of the dice that were right above that. And so this area is getting a little bit larger. And then there's a nesting kind of wall here that got a little shallower just to give a little bit more room. You had to roll the mats pretty tight to get them in there before, and so our version 2, you won't have to roll them quite as tight. But this is all 3 mats from the game. So very, very happy to be. I don't think I have the Nomad mat here. This is just 3 of the base game mats, but they're all the same size, so that works. But yeah, that is the Moonrakers big box. Very thankful for you coming and checking it out. We are very, very proud of how it's turned out, and can't wait to get it into your hands. Thanks.